My sweet loves, we are back again with another video regarding conscious relationships. I am KCBass, trauma-informed coach and mentor. I am here to guide you through and forward. Trauma is something that we've all had to face at some point in our lives, but it doesn't mean we have to stay stuck there. I oftentimes say that being stuck is a choice because we can decide at any point to get unstuck. It takes a conscious decision. And so today I'm going to be talking about moving forward. My last video, if you haven't watched the other two episodes, go back and watch those. I think they will be beneficial if you're really trying to build more conscious relationships and trying to relate more consciously with intent. You're not just flying in, on somebody's coattails in regards to what did they do, how did they do it. No, we're going to learn a way that we can do it. We're going to learn a way that we can do relationships in a healthy way. Okay, this is not going to be something that you can follow another cookie cutter blueprint. You're going to have to create your own blueprint for conscious relating. Okay, and so today I'm going to be talking about moving forward. We can spend a lot of time talking about the traumas that we faced, and it will keep you kind of reliving that trauma over and over. Well, let's move past it. Let's talk about what it's going to take for you to move forward, for you to take some steps in the direction past the healing, because at some point you're going to be healed enough to be able to engage again. And it's not just with romantic relationships, it's with all relationships, because when you are traumatized in any way, it affects how you relate to everyone, whether it be family, whether it be friends. It doesn't matter. Romantic relationships, platonic relationships. But when you begin to heal those areas, and I oftentimes say you'll never be done. There will be always something else to heal, but you can get to a space where you can begin to relate and evolve with another individual. So the one thing I want to share with you today is alignment. I want to talk about alignment. I want to talk about what it's going to take for you to get into alignment. Healing is alignment. When you begin to heal, it pulls you back onto the road that you were supposed to be on before the trauma happened. So literally, it's like you're straightening up in the road that you're on. Like your car has to get in alignment, because if you let go of the wheel, it pulls to one direction or another, either left or to the right. When you get in alignment, it puts it back forward. So if you let go of the wheel, the car still goes forward. What healing does is it brings you back into alignment with where you were supposed to be before the trauma happened. It takes you back to the core of who you are. All right. Many people are existing from traumatized selves. You don't want to be that way. When you choose healing, you're no longer existing from that trauma space. You are coming into alignment with who you are at the core. You're realizing some things about yourselves. You know what happens whenever we exist from our traumatized selves? We take on, and I mentioned this before in other videos, we take on the identity of what has traumatized us. You can't make this stuff up. If you look back at the people that have brought trauma into your life or that has traumatized you, the first thing we will say is, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like them. But because you've learned so many unconscious behaviors from them, you actually sometimes are a carbon copy of them. You see those behaviors coming up in your relationships. you see those same responses that they have, you have. It is because there are certain things that we are born into. There are generational patterns. There are trauma imprints that you are born with. You understand? You all, it really gets deep down into the, not just the core of who we are spiritually, but the core of who we are physiologically. Okay? So you are born with certain trauma imprints from your mother's womb. And so a lot of those things start coming up when you are pressed, okay? When you start taking the hits in life. You don't start off that way as a child because you don't quite understand what's going on. But as you get older, you will start seeing those patterns and you're registering it. Healing causes you to become aware of what you have registered unconsciously and consciously, okay? When you have been in existence with a individual that is judgmental, or you've been around a family member that is critical or judgmental, and the first thing we will say, I'm not going to be like that, I'm not going to be like that. But then you find when you start paying attention to the things you say and the thoughts you keep and the things you do, you will find that same judgment and critical attitude. All right. So coming into alignment means you're bringing into your awareness the things that have blocked you, the things that you picked up. You've identified with someone that is not you. All right. You become them. You will find yourself saying the things that they said, justifying their behavior, justifying your behavior as they have justified theirs. You will even find yourself doing some of the same thing, driving the same types of vehicles, wearing the same types of clothes, having the same types of attitudes. You all, this thing runs deep. And you can literally become a carbon copy, which is not you at all. But what has to happen is we have to separate our identity from those that have traumatized us. We have to be an individual. We have to move in authenticity. Healing brings you into that level of alignment. So the first thing I want to share with you today is to come into alignment. Healing will bring you into alignment. Figure out the things that you like. All right. You don't have to buy a BMW because everybody in your family has a BMW, or the people that you feel like have made it in your family, they have BMW, so I'm gonna get a BMW. Okay. And I'm using that term, I'm using that example very loosely, but I think you understand what I'm saying, because the imprint can be so deep, you begin to identify, and before you know it, the years pass. And you get older, and you keep getting older. You're in your 50s, you get in your 60s, you're in your 70s. And in your 70s, you're realizing that life has brought so much in that you have not healed out, that at that age, there's not a lot going on in your life. All right? No friends. No groups. There's no social life. Everything you have is wrapped up in those that either traumatize you or the identity of those that traumatize you. And you don't realize it, even though you watched a family member, grow and get older, and you watch how they didn't have anybody surrounding them in their life. You watch how they didn't have friends, and then you look up and you don't have them. You watch how they pushed everybody away, and you look up and you've pushed everybody away. These are the things that you begin to identify, so that when you are healing, you're coming into alignment with who you are at the core. We are certainly created for connectivity. Yes, we are. Now, for me, if I had to describe myself, I would say I am an ambivert. I am a good little mix of introvert and extrovert. I only extrovert when I need to. Otherwise, I can be at home. I can be snuggled up with a book. Okay, I can be to myself and be okay. I've lived many years single. Okay, owning my own home, living in my own spaces. Okay, doing what was necessary for me to take care of myself, living very independently after my sons grew up. Okay. And so coming into alignment means I had to, as I was healing, so learn, okay, what type of people do I want to be around? I love learning, so I like being around educated people. I love being around people that love learning. I do. I love being around people that are intellectual. And I don't have to have everybody in my life intellectual, because I love hanging out with people I can just laugh with and I can enjoy the time with. So I have different groups of people. The friends in my life now, they all have a certain purpose. I have some that I can call and we could just laugh and holler till we cry. And then there's some I can call and we can just go line by line with a good book or even with scriptures. As a minister of the gospel for many, many years, as a pastor, as a leader, these are the things that I've done for many years, and those things I enjoy. So healing was about coming into alignment with the things I really enjoy. I also enjoy things like spoken word. I enjoy anything with words. Anything with words. I love it. I love it. So these are the things that I enjoy doing. I enjoy going to maybe a spoken word event ever so often. I love jazz. So what I had to do is kind of listen to myself and figure out, okay, Kelly, what is it that you like to do? What is your identity? What is your authentic identity outside of all of the trauma that you face and that you've healed? And what type of people do you want in your life now for your continued evolution? So the first point is indeed alignment. Second point I want to make is resourcing. When I was doing one of my trauma-informed coach certifications, the coach that was doing the training, he talked about resourcing, a term that I had never heard before, but I want to share it with you. He said that resourcing is a way for you to regulate your nervous system by pulling into your mind or by engaging with someone that puts you in a calm place. For instance, my grandmother, I have very fond memories of her. And anytime that I'm just having a hard time or something, I can think about us cooking, or when I get ready to go into my kitchen and I start cooking, I think about those times. It begins to regulate me. She's one of my resources. Even though she's passed on, the memories that I have is a good resource. And whether you know it or not, what you pull up in your mind will help calm your nervous system. It'll help ease your anxiety. And so you're going to have to figure out what is a good resource for you to bring calm into your life. What kind of people do you want around you? I don't care for people that have a lot of drama in their life. Being in my inner circle, if you have a lot of chaos or you come in with a lot of chaos, or the things that are surrounding you are chaotic, the people that are surrounding you are not healthy and chaotic, I tend to not connect well with individuals like that, simply because I am in a place of calm most of the time. Most of the time. It takes quite a bit. You got to really push for me to really just get really upset. And unless an individual is just pushing my buttons just to be pushing them, because there are people that are like that. But I do enjoy being around people who are regulated. And when I say are regulated, I'm not saying they're calm all the time. I'm saying they're able to maneuver through life when life is happening. So your nervous system is always going to be activated when things are happening, but it's all in the matter how all in the way that you can regulate. And usually it takes some co-regulation. Another individual can help you regulate. Have you ever met a person that when you're around them, you calm down? Or you feel a sense of calm? These are people that will be resources for you. Individuals that encourage you, that build you, that push you, but that also at your highest moments of anxiety that bring a level of calm to you. So you're going to have to identify the people that are those healthy resources in your life. That's number 2. Number 3, learn how to maintain that conscious space, conscious awareness. Learn how to maintain that connection. For those of you that are spirit, you rely, like me, rely on your relationship with Holy Spirit to keep you regulated. The way I maintain my relationship with myself is by maintaining my relationship with Holy Spirit. The way I stay in a space of calm, and even when something is happening, I can kind of regulate, or I can get in a space with other people that can help me co-regulate. A lot of times you may not be able to do it on your own if you're really activated. All right, if your anxiety is on 10, that's where a really great friend comes in. And sometimes it's just them listening to you and hearing what you have to say, and just being attentive and being present. So many people don't know how to be present. They're looking for a way to help you in some kind of a way. And I've been guilty of that myself. When people would tell me things, I'm in my mind thinking about a solution, but there's not always a need for a solution. And I think I realized it more when people came into my life that were very present with me. They didn't try to give me an answer. They helped me to bring my 10 down to a 1 and then down to a 0. And they were just good to be around. They were fun to be around. So find what it takes for you to maintain, whether it is your relationship with Holy Spirit, whether it is other people, whether it is going out having fun with those that you really love. One thing that I oftentimes share with my coaching clients is you also want to be careful that you're not picking up some sort of addiction when you're trying to regulate. When you are doing things like excessive drinking or drugs, or and I've mentioned these things before, sexual addiction, constant scrolling on your phones, not being able to sit with yourself, not being able to be alone without having to contact someone. Okay, these are all signs that there's some sort of dysregulation. So you want to be careful that even when you're having a hard time, you're not reliant on, I have to go get a glass of wine, or I need to go we need to go out for drinks. Or is that the only way you can get calm? That can turn into something bigger that you're not prepared to handle. Because many addictions start off by you trying to cope with something that has happened. Okay. And a lot of people are in denial even about the addictions that they have, because they just see it as something that they do to calm down. But when you're doing it every day, it is indeed an addiction. And so that means you have to become aware of the things that you're constantly doing to cope. Is it a healthy coping mechanism? Or is it something that can turn into something that is detrimental for your mental health and for your physical health? Okay, so the 3 things I talked about today: alignment. Healing brings you into alignment to the core of who you are, to the identity that you are outside of all of the trauma that you have faced. Okay. And number two was resourcing, finding those people, places, things, even those memories that put you back in a happy place, and using those as a catalyst to calm your nervous system, to bring you to a calm. Remember now, when we're experiencing trauma, it heightens your anxiety and it dysregulates your nervous system. Okay. You're anxious. All right. It's hard to settle. Okay, so finding those things that bring you to a place of calm, but finding a good resource for that, which is called resourcing. And of course, number three, maintaining your level of calm, maintaining a life that is filled. Even though life is lifing, you're still able to maintain some sort of equilibrium and have people around you to help co-regulate. Okay, I hope those three things were very helpful for you. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you on the next video. Toodles.